Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nicholas, again here with Glitch Tesla, here on my Tesla Model 3 Midnight Glitch. Today we'll be going over some more autopilot features. Today in this video we'll be going over autopilot and the full self-driving capability package and how it operates on complex, curvy roads as well as other roadways to and from the city. Now, this will be different with future updates. As always, the car gets better over time. But this is a snapshot as far as what you can expect with the Tesla currently with the most stable version of the software. Now, I do want to keep in mind that with these packages, you have to be aware it is not autonomy. It is the driver assistance, and it is meant to help your drive and make it easier, as well as in some situations safer than a regular human driver. Now, it uses all the cameras. There's 2 side cameras, 3 forward facing cameras, and 1 rear camera that will be able to help assist seeing all the way around the car, as well as the ultrasonic parking sensors, which also give depth to the surroundings around the car, and a radar in the front that help detect cars moving forward or stopping so it can maintain proper distance. Now, a big thing to mention again is this is the most stable version right now. The beta does operate differently, and when this rolls out to other people, they will be able to experience this themselves. But right now, these are great features that you can get today, and a lot of people will be able to enjoy. Okay, now that we have all of that out of the way, and we've explained a little bit how autopilot is today, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get driving with Midnight Glitch. Okay, we are on the move here with Midnight Glitch, and we're just going to be going through a couple different things today. I'm going to be splitting this up into multiple videos, so if you've already seen parts of the others I've posted, this will probably be part of the rural and complex situations video as far as this brief section here. So you can see, again, I live out in the middle of nowhere. We have these not so always taken care of county roads that have no line markings, and you can't do anything with autopilot. So I'll take across a couple other roads here or there and see if we can get something to work. Alright. Now, right now there's only one person kind of behind me. They're kind of back a ways. But this is one of the curvy areas, and this road is technically 55. I'm just going to do this short little area. You see how badly the edge of the roadway is, but we do have a center line here. And it does work with autopilot. Even though that this can read speed limit signs, it does not read the suggested speed limits at the moment. So those curves were 25 or 35. At least that last one was 35 as far as suggested. There's no set limit by the county or by the state directly for this section of road. So it technically is defaults back to a state law, which dictates what types of roads have what speed limits. It's actually technically a 55 mile per hour road, despite the condition, and they consider this a major collector road for the county and also ODOT. So it collects a lot of traffic, and then it flows into the main artery ways of the city and freeways and the highways. So this is highly traversed by me and a lot of other people. So again, here's another 35 suggested. Let's see if I can get this to do this here. And I bumped it out. But there's another Model 3 there. Looks like they're getting their driveway redone. But because there's people behind me at the moment, I'm not going to be able to do every single curve on this roadway. Even though it can probably do the majority of this in AutoPilot, the curves and stuff are a limiting factor. I've seen where it doesn't bump the speed down nearly as well as what it should for the level of, I would say, confidence it has in the curves. Like in a lot of these curves, this is kind of a blind curve. This would probably knock down to about, 30 if it was driving on its own. I can generally take these at, 45, 50, without any problem. So as we come up to this curve, it is at 45 suggested, and it is a few curves that are kind of quick succession. So this curve usually isn't too bad. Of course, it doesn't slow for it. But this next one up here is a bit sharper, and it really should start slowing. And it does take it okay. Not as cleanly as what I want. And it does kind of break a little bit on that one to slow. But that was actually pretty well, even though it really should have adjusted the speed on each of those curves, and I have manually backed down on that myself. So we're going through a 35 through here. There is a truck coming up behind me that probably won't enjoy that, so we'll keep it at 40. That SUV was close. This used to be sharper through here. And that slowed down for that traffic control warning sign. But this is kind of a curvy section that really should be taken at 35 or less. But it goes into this traffic signal right at the bottom. And it does that pretty well. Again, I think once some of the limits are taken off on how much of a turn the car can take, it'll be much better. It'll be able to kind of more confidently take some of those turns. But we'll see. Coming up to one of the complex situations. This is a railroad, kind of blind on the other side, but it goes through just fine. I just let the car handle that situation. Of course, it braked okay. plenty of distance, no worries. This curve has always been a kind of a pain for a lot of, for a long while. They did kind of redo that, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago, to be not as sharp. But there is kind of a road that goes down along that guardrail. It's kind of a hidden road. So it saw the green light, and this is kind of along these cars here that are parked, and it wanted confirmation, but I was taking my time there. I did give it confirmation, but it turned yellow, so then it immediately went to stop, which is exactly what it needs to do. So on all this traffic signal stop sign beta is actually pretty good. They really nailed that pretty well when they released that, probably about 2 months ago. So I'm still on autopilot. Up here is kind of a curvy section and kind of a complex drive. I'm gonna actually control my speed myself here. It was kind of whining about the sharpness of that. Saw the green light, and I'm bumping or manually driving through it, or at least controlling speed through it. Saw that green one. Now up here is interesting. This is another complex situation. We have another railroad track. This one is a much steeper track. I'm gonna let this go through. Normally it would have slowed down the speed, but it handled that okay. That could have been better. And I actually want to turn around and go through that one more time. Alright, go back into autopilot. Gonna bump this down a little to proper speed. And again, going through this train track, it's a little bit faster than what I typically would take it myself. But it handled that just fine. It didn't freak out. Like I said, normally I would bump the speed down manually on that just to be certain. Now this is again another split lane, and this is going to put me onto the turn lane, and I'll turn anyway. This is one of those awkward intersections that the through lane is not really the through lane, it becomes the turn lane. The through lane is, the way it's built, it's added on. But there's really no other way to do it, because this intersection's been redone multiple times, and there's just no more room, and you have to have a turn lane there. That's a very busy roadway. That guy was not paying attention whatsoever when he stepped out between those cars. At least I was further enough over, but the truck behind me was kind of over, but I don't think he expected the one guy to kind of step out. So, alright, going to go back through. Good, he's going straight. this this is the same curvy area that I had gone through earlier, and we'll just head back up this hill. And as soon as autopilot kicks in, there we go. This is 35 through here, and this does okay up this hill. Since it is 35, it doesn't do too bad. I still think it could be a little bit better centering, especially right through here, which the lane kind of narrows a little bit, and so it kind of wants to adjust for that, but doesn't actually do it 100% the way I like it to, but it does it just fine. And up here it goes to 55. So go ahead and bump that up. Now this is that curvy section that's only 45, or recommended 45. And going this direction, you can see already one person is over the line. Now it takes this curve okay. It's a little bit closer to the center that I expect. And it does slow down for this curve because it was a bit sharp, as it also got close to the line. That can be taken at 50 easily. It doesn't readjust the speed. It really should be taken at 45 because that's what's actually recommended. One of the few areas that probably should be doing exactly that. So up here kind of is a blind intersection until you get to the crest of this hill. So that's why there's this traffic light warning sign that's blinking, because people also speed through it. But it kind of wants to treat it like a regular signal, or at least it did, and it still slows down occasionally for it. But this handles actually quite well through this intersection. So we're coming up to another kind of strange area. This is a school, and this is slowing down for the school zone, even though it's Sunday, and the school zone limit is not in place. So I had to manually take over as far as the throttle, and once I was through slightly, it allowed it to kind of pick back up in speed. But even as we passed the other side, it also slowed down by, or at least hesitated for a moment. Thank you. So we're coming up to kind of a little town here. The flashing yellow. Sorry. I had to cut the audio there for a moment. The flashing yellow treats as a stop, no matter if it's a green or considered the green or not. You have to bump yourself through it like you would a regular green light. I guess it does treat it as a green, because otherwise if you confirm through it, it will still try to stop. And but it does see as a legit traffic signal. Up here's another what I consider a complex area. So you got this traffic light up here, followed by a railroad that goes over 5 lanes of traffic with gates and lights. This section of railroad is not used often, but it is used. So I have a lead car. I didn't need to bump through that intersection or confirm through that intersection. And it sees all these lights for this train track. Knows they're not on, so it doesn't stop. So that works well.